From secret songs to official statements, this is the love story of two hearts that grew up in the spotlight of the world in a world where every step of a celebrity is watched by millions of pairs of eyes. It's hard to imagine any room for something sincere to grow slowly without interruption. But the story that develops between two BTS members, Jimin and Jungkook, seems to be an unexpected and perhaps unbearable exception. The issue of their closeness has long been a whisper among fans. But all this is always responded with a smile and silence. Until the end, one leaked secret song, one gaze caught on camera, and one more loud silent moment of thousands of screaming fans, everything became the beginning of the opening of a story that had only existed in the shadows. Everything started to change when the ARMY found pieces of songs that were never officially released on social media. The song was just a little over a minute long, but the lyrics struck a chord with anyone who listened. Jungkook's voice sounded low, as if he kept a secret that was too heavy to speak. There is a lyric that says, "You don't have to say anything. I already know from your look that you chose me, secretly." The fans realized that the song was uncharacteristic. Too personal, too honest, too full of meaning. Soon after, news emerged that the song was written by Jungkook during their break last year. But surprisingly, not only Jungkook was involved, Jimin also co-composed the harmony and melody. Although never officially released, the song was dubbed by fans as Our Room, a small space that only the two of them knew. The entertainment world may be able to set the narrative, but the camera never lies. In one of the unintentional live broadcasts, backstage cameras captured the moment where Jimin stood sculpting, while Jungkook slowly approached and touched his shoulder. Their gaze conveys not only affection, there is understanding, there are old wounds, and there is a fear of loss. The video clip went viral. Armies around the world are divided. Some believe it's just a deep friendship, but many are beginning to see signs of something bigger. The story of two hearts trying to survive in the middle of a world that demands them to always be strong, perfect, and alone. The culmination was when Big Hit Music finally issued an official statement. Not to justify speculation, but to ask the public to give space and respect to the members. More surprising, however, is the final part of the statement. Everyone has the right to love and be loved, even when they live under the brightest light of the spotlight. We support all our members on their journey to becoming fully human, with all the love, hurt, and sincerity they have. That sentence, for most of the ARMY, was more than enough to conclude that what was happening behind the scenes was much more real than they imagined. The story of Jimin and Jungkook is not just a Korean drama-style romance. It is about two human beings who grew up together, fell and rose together, then quietly became each other's home when the world was too noisy. There was never an explicit confession. There's never been a glamour announcement. Only the song, the gaze, and the presence of each other continue to persist, despite the storms that come after each other. Today, Jimin and Jungkook continue their journey amid a guessing world. They choose to keep walking side by side. And the ARMY, as always, will continue to support. Because true love does not always have to be announced in words. Sometimes it's just one song, one smile, and one hand that never lets go. As the news of the emotional closeness between Jimin and Jungkook grew unstoppable, attention came not only from the media and fans, but also from fellow BTS members. Many are curious how RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, and V respond to the growing dynamic between their two partners. Sources close to the BTS team mentioned that the members have actually known of the special relationship between Jimin and Jungkook for a long time. They were not surprised, they were just waiting for the right moment so that both of them could face everything bravely. To RM, the leader, in a recent interview with a Japanese music magazine, had an ambiguous phrase: "Sometimes love is present at work, sometimes on stage, sometimes between the verses of the songs we sing together. The most important thing is that we keep honesty and support each other." Many interpreted the remark as a form of veiled blessing to Jimin and Jungkook's deep bond. J-Hope, who is known to be very close to Jimin, is touted as the keeper of secrets behind the scenes. He was always there when Jimin felt vulnerable, especially after their secret song became known to the public. Meanwhile, Suga, with his calm and sharp style, reportedly once said, "If it makes them happy, who are we to forbid?" However, one figure that fans are curious about more than anyone is Taehyung. He and Jungkook have also been known to be very close over the years. As Jungkook's interactions begin to focus more on Jimin, many wonder, does Taehyung feel abandoned? In fact, in some public moments, Taehyung's expression did change, quieter, more introspective. There was one live broadcast in which he answered fans' questions about changes within the group with the phrase, "Everyone is changing, including our relationship with each other. But that's not the end. That's evolution." The speech left the army speechless, not because of grief, but because of understanding that maturity is not about keeping something old, but letting go and still loving from a distance. All over the world, the army reacted with an incredible wave of love and protection. Many wrote open letters to Big Hit to give the members more privacy, especially Jimin and Jungkook. Huge fan bases in Korea, Japan, Indonesia, and Europe have even teamed up to create video projects and billboards themed Love Without Borders, featuring excerpts from BTS meaning-laden songs, "Love Myself," "Love Yourself," and "You Are My Light in the Dark." For many fans, it's not just about romance, but about fighting for the right of idols to become full-fledged people with all the freedom to feel, love, and cry. With rumors of BTS's big comeback next year after all the members have completed their military service, many are wondering whether Jimin and Jungkook's relationship will be more open or kept as a beautiful secret that only the two of them understand. But one thing is certain, the feelings that grow between them are not born of popularity, camera exposure, or sensation. It grew out of long nights in the studio, from writing letters to each other when schedules were tight, from a shoulder to lean on when the world felt too heavy, and maybe, like the lyrics Jungkook once wrote, "Even if the world doesn't understand us, your eyes are enough to tell me everything I need." Even if the world doesn't understand us, your eyes tell us enough. After a huge wave of support from the army and increased media attention to the emotional dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook, came the shocking news from internal Big Hit Music. A source said that the song Our Room, which has so far only been known as a mysterious leak, is being considered for official release as part of an upcoming special album, not just as a song, but as a symbol of honesty that has long been buried. If this plan works, the song will become not only an artistic recognition, but also a form of emotional freedom for both. In a world that demands perfection from idols, the courage to share something deeply personal through music is a form of love, both for themselves and for those they trust. In a closed-door interview with the production staff, it was stated that the final version of the song has been re-recorded with much deeper emotions than the initial version. Jungkook is said to have sung the last part with teary eyes, while Jimin added a whisper-like background sound, soft yet cutting. There is no direct recognition in the lyrics, but all the emotions are clearly felt. As if the song conveys something that cannot be said in ordinary language. Although the support from fans is huge, the planned release of the song also raises concerns. Some at the agency questioned whether the world was ready to accept something so personal from two artists with such a global fan base. Especially considering BTS's reputation as a global representation of Korean culture, a move like this could be a big gamble. But Jungkook, in an internal meeting that was reportedly very emotional, was quoted as saying, "If I have to endure all this just for the sake of maintaining expectations, then what's the point of me singing? Music is the only place I can be myself. And if it includes loving, then let that love be heard." Those words shook the room. Even the producers, who were known to be cold and professional, were silent. Because for the first time, Jungkook is not only showing himself as the lead vocalist of BTS, but as a man with real love who dares to fight. While Jungkook is more open in his attitude, Jimin is known to be more reserved and tends to harbor his feelings.